Welcome to this deep dive. We're tackling a subject that's really captured the public imagination, haven't we?
We have the idea that the government might be hiding something specifically about aliens at Area 51.
Exactly. And you're here because you want to get a solid grasp of this quickly and thoroughly.
Right. So our mission today is to really look objectively at the available information about this specific hypothesis. What did the sources actually tell us?
Okay. Let's start with Area 51 itself. It's a highly classified U.S. Air Force base. Everyone sort of knows that.
And that secrecy, it's been there for a long, long time. It's practically made for conspiracy theories, especially the UFO kind.
So we'll focus on the facts, the history, the context of these claims. We're not taking sides here.
No, definitely not. Just laying out what the information suggests about why there might be claims of concealment.
Okay, so the secrecy, where did it begin? The sources point to 1955, right? The U-2 program.
That's the kickoff point. Area 51's main job, initially, was developing and testing really advanced experimental aircraft and weapons.
And this secrecy wasn't just for show. It was driven by the Cold War, serious national security needs.
Absolutely critical stuff. And the place itself, Homey Airport, Groom Lake, those are the official names. It was never declared a secret base. Officially. But everything happening there, top secret, TSSCI level.
And the location itself plays a part, doesn't it? Deep inside the Nevada test and training range.
Yeah, that geographical isolation is key. It provides a natural barrier, keeps prying eyes away, which, you'd need for developing cutting-edge tech back then.
And that need for secrecy just grew over time as the technology got more advanced.
Precisely. Think about the later planes tested there, the A-12 Oxcart SR-71 Blackbird. These were game changers.
You couldn't just test those anywhere. The details, the capabilities had to be kept under wraps.
And here's where it gets really interesting for the UFO connection. Testing these, well, frankly, weird-looking aircraft often led to reports. People saw things they couldn't explain.
Right. Let's talk about that connection, the U-2, for example. Mid-50s, flying way higher than commercial planes.
Over 60,000 feet. Civilian planes were, 20,000, maybe 30,000 feet lower?
So a pilot sees these silver wings catching the sun way, way up there.
Yeah, what is that? Misidentification was almost guaranteed.
And the Oxcart. That was even stranger, wasn't it?
Oh, totally. A sort of disc-like shape, made of titanium, super fast, reflecting sunlight in odd ways. It would have looked completely alien to anyone who saw it.
So Project Blue Book, the Air Force's UFO investigation group, they looked into these sightings.
They did, and often the explanation was U-2 or RX cart flights, but here's the rub.
They couldn't say that publicly.
Exactly. Couldn't reveal the existence or nature of these classified aircraft, so the explanation given might have seemed, thin.
Which just fed the mystery.
You got it. And some veterans from those programs apparently felt the UFO rumors actually helped maintain secrecy over the real projects. Kind of an unintentional cover.
That's quite a thought. Okay, so beyond testing our own advanced planes, what else was happening there?
Well, another big Cold War mission kicked off in the late 60s. Checking out captured Soviet aircraft.
Really? They had Soviet planes?
Oh, yes. Programs like Have Donut, Have Drill, Have Ferry. They got their hands on MiG-21s, MiG-17s.
And U.S. pilots flew them?
Uh-huh. To figure out how they performed, what their weaknesses were, how they stacked up against American fighters, vital intelligence.
But the fact that the U.S. had these planes must have been incredibly secret itself.
Top secret. You couldn't just fly a MiG around Nellis Air Force Base.
So they did it at Groom Lake.
Precisely. In that restricted airspace, sometimes they even called it Red Square, apparently. Perfect place for hiding that kind of activity.
And there was radar testing, too. Have GLIB.
Yeah, testing Soviet radar systems as well. It all just adds another layer to why the place was so intensely guarded and secret.
Which brings us to the security measures. How did they contribute to the alien theories?
Well, think about it. Airspace totally off limits, constant surveillance, armed guards, the camo dudes people talk about.
Warning signs authorizing deadly force. It all screams, keep out. Something big is happening here.
Exactly. So you have this intense, almost intimidating level of security combined with occasional sightings of bizarre aircraft.
It's fertile ground for speculation. If they're hiding this much, what else could they be hiding?
And that's where the really famous theories come in. Storing crashed alien ships, maybe from Roswell.
Reverse engineering alien tech. Meeting with ETs.
Developing exotic weapons, time travel, you name it, it's probably been linked to Area 51.
And people like Bob Lazar fueled this, right?
Mm-hmm.
His claims of working on alien craft at S4.
Right. His stories and others like them talking about alien simulators, interacting with beings, they became really embedded in the whole Area 51 mythos.
You saw that fascination flare up again with the Storm Area 51 thing a few years back.
Yeah, even as a sort of internet joke, it showed how much these ideas still grip the public imagination.
So what about the government side? For years, they basically said nothing, right?
Pretty much stonewalled. Minimal information. Which, again, probably just fueled more speculation.
It wasn't until 1998 that the Air Force even officially acknowledged the site existed.
Yeah, and even then, details were scarce. There was that interesting environmental lawsuit in 1994.
Ah, yes. The contractors claiming harm from burning unknown chemicals. How did the government handle that?
That's very revealing. They invoked the state secrets privilege, basically saying, we can't talk about this in court because it would endanger national security.
And President Clinton issued a presidential determination.
Yes, specifically exempting the Air Force's operating location near Groom Lake from environmental disclosure laws. The suit got dismissed.
And that exemption is renewed every year.
Annually. It highlights the unique, ongoing legal status and sensitivity of the place.
Little things leaked out too, didn't they? Like the airport code appearing in a database?
Right. Homey Airport, KXTA, popped up in a Jeppesen aviation database in 2007, sort of an accidental confirmation.
And way back in '74, the Skylab incident. Astronauts accidentally photographed it.
Believed to be Groom Lake, yes. And apparently there was a whole internal debate about whether to classify those photos, showing just how sensitive the location was even then.
Okay, so pulling all this together, what's the picture that emerges from the information we have?
Well, it seems pretty clear that Area 51's intense secrecy stemmed directly from its very real, very sensitive work, developing and testing cutting-edge aircraft, especially during the Cold War, evaluating foreign tech.
And these activities inevitably created strange sightings.
Exactly. Unusual planes doing unusual things. Combine that with the necessary government secrecy.
And you get a perfect recipe for speculation about something even more secret, like aliens.
Right. The sources confirm the secrecy, confirm the advanced, sometimes strange-looking aircraft, but
they don't provide actual verifiable proof of hidden alien evidence being concealed.
No. The evidence consistently points towards the secrecy being about protecting classified aerospace technology and national security interests. That seems to be the primary driver.
The correlation between the experimental flights and the UFO reports offers a pretty strong alternative explanation, doesn't it?
It does. It provides a logical, earthbound reason for many of the sightings, rooted in the documented activities of the base and the geopolitical context of the time. It doesn't require an alien explanation.
So the final thought for our listener then. When you consider this documented history, the classified projects, the absolute need for secrecy back then, how does that shape your view on those persistent claims about hidden alien knowledge?
It's definitely something to think about. The mundane explanation in this case is rooted in some pretty extraordinary but still human technological development.
Indeed. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the available information surrounding Area 51.
Thank you for listening.